Hey, it's AT time. My name is Ron Freeman, and today on Animation Trainers, we're going to be discussing the fourth principle of animation in our 12 Principles of Animation series, which is the principle of straight-ahead action and pose-to-pose. And to make sure that you don't miss any of the other videos in this series or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and switch the notification bell to all. Straight-ahead action and pose-to-pose is actually the first of the 12 animation principles listed in the book Disney Animation: The Illusion of Life by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, that is specifically discussing a mechanical technique or something other than a movement or posing concept. This principle speaks specifically to two methods of animating. The first, straight-ahead action, refers to the method of animating in which one creates the next pose immediately after the previous one, working straight ahead in time. This is the method of animation used in stop motion, on a project like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because you are filming real puppets on a real set, it is necessary to animate straight ahead and move the characters each frame as you progress. This is because you can't really jump backwards and forwards on film, and it's too difficult to animate in between poses and have everything line up after the fact when you're dealing with real-world objects. Pose-to-pose is the method that we are more commonly familiar with, which is to create the extreme poses of an action and then generate the in-between poses to fill out the timing of that action between those extreme poses. For example, if you were animating a punch, you would create the pose where the character has the fist farthest back, then the pose where the character has extended that fist the furthest after the punch. If you're animating in CG, then those two poses are not going to be enough to communicate the action. You'll end up with something that moves like this, because it's only solving between those two poses. It is therefore necessary to create what is referred to as a breakdown pose. The key element to a breakdown pose is that it is just as important as an extreme pose, also referred to as a key pose. But unlike a key pose, which usually has the timing slow in and out of that pose, a breakdown pose has the timing move through that pose so that there is no slowdown. The breakdown pose in the punch action that we were just referring to would be this pose, which marks the furthest swing out to the side of the fist hand as it approaches its target. This is also an extreme position for the upper body, leading with the opposite shoulder as the fist arm drags behind. The body's also already moved forward most of the way that it's going to in the breakdown pose. But the fist is only about halfway through moving forward, and that is why we are not slowing in and out of the forward momentum, even if we are slowing in and out slightly on the left-right movement and the hip movement, or reversing the shoulder rotation entirely. We can then continue adjusting the timing and allowing more or fewer frames in between the breakdown and its previous and upcoming key poses. By contrast, the situation where straight-ahead action is best suited would often be when animating any overlapping and follow-through elements. These would include hair, dresses, coats, tails, and anything else that often doesn't move of its own volition. Norm Ferguson was one of Disney's original featured animators and the principal animator responsible for the dog Pluto. He has said that when he animated Pluto, he would animate him bald, with no ears and no tail. When the primary animation of Pluto, which was animated pose-to-pose, was completed and had been approved, he would then go back and add the ear and tail animation as straight-ahead action, so that it had terrific overlapping action and follow-through. Who's your favorite animated character? And do they have a part of their design that's best suited for straight-ahead action instead of pose-to-pose? Please tell us in the comments below. We will be discussing Pluto and Norm Ferguson more in our next video in this series, where we will be discussing follow-through and overlapping action, specifically in more detail, and what my process is for animating using that method. And so to make sure that you don't miss that video in this series or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and switch that bell. And would you like to have a private session with me where we can discuss how to improve your animation skills working with me directly one-on-one? Then please visit our website at animationtrainers.com and schedule a session with me. My name is Ron Freeman, and I hope that we will see you for our next video here at Animation Trainers. In the meantime, keep it moving.